We must be doing something right here, because today again it was really difficult to get to this point where everything was ready to record the message. Something does not like us to advance and receive these messages. If you're here, you're very welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you. I received a lot for this collective. If you are here, you are probably a bit of a rebel. If you're here, you're probably a leader, if you're taking that role or not. You are also a compassionate person, and you might have gone through a lot in your human form while here on earth. It does not matter if you are 20 years old or 80 years old. You have a desire to know more. You have a desire to grow, to become more and more closer to your higher self. I went into the garden. It was late at night, maybe close to midnight, with my crystal ball, because the moon was shining so brightly. It was beautiful. I was wearing my soft gown, nightgown, and I took the crystal ball and sat on the grass with that in my lap, holding it, just connecting with all the energies, all the spirits in the garden and the evening sky. And as I sat there, the crystal ball changed into a star. At this stage, I closed my eyes as it was starting to travel, and I myself became one with the energy of Nut, the energy of Nut that is the goddess of the night sky. I'm very familiar with the energy because I painted Nut a year or two ago when I did a series of paintings about the feminine energy and the symbols representing that, and the archetypes representing that. But that was the first time that I felt I became one with the night sky, and it was as if I was not in my human body anymore, but I was part of this expansive energy that is a protective, motherly, powerful energy. When I came back grounding, this energy coming back to my body, the Morrigan was there, and I know she is there because of what this collective is going through at the moment. You came a long way on your path. You're still in the woods. The woods is not a negative thing. It's a very exciting place to be, the place where things are in the shadows, and you have to see what is there, what is behind the tree, what is in the shadows. We talked about the shadows in the previous video also. There is the light and there is the shadow part that we said needs to be examined, needs to be brought, needs to be seen. It doesn't mean the shadow part now becomes the light part, because there's always light and shadow, but it is seen so you can see what is there, what is hidden, and it is not negative. Remember, often, as I've said before, your strength is found in the shadow aspects of you. because you can use that. You can use that if you have seen that and accepted that. I'm not talking about toxic traits that you use to harm others with. Toxicity is a wound that needs healing. But things that are in the shadow can just be things that you think is not acceptable because you felt rejected and you have shown that. For instance, if you were a boy and you cried and you were told not to do that, and now you hide that part of you. It's in the shadow. It's part of the shadow, and you have to see it and give it love, so that it becomes part of the you that can express itself without shame, because the shame wound that many men and women are carrying is one that can keep you paralyzed and not accepting yourself. Following this time I spent in the welcoming presence of these energies. Yesterday I went to the beach, and when I started walking to the water, there was a crow flying. I shouted to it, and I'm not going to make the sound, but the sound that they make, the way I can do it. And then it answered me. It was wonderful. And as I was walking further down, there was a crow sitting on the beach eating something. I couldn't see what it was. And that was quite strange to me, because I've never before, in the almost 30 years that I've lived here, seen a crow on the beach. And I thought, well, I've now seen 2 crows. If there's a third crow, it's the Morrigan, because the 3 crows are a symbol of the Morrigan that I saw the previous night. And I kid you not, the next moment another crow came and landed with this crow, sitting with it. So I spent time then connecting with the energies, where I was told that you should spend time here examining every part of yourself. Because if we do that, it is then when we automatically also start to connect deeper with the higher self. If you hear a noise, it's my little bird taking a bath. I was shown that many of you do not see yourself worthy yet of the person you know you want to become, you wish you want to become, and you might even have tried to manifest to become, but you are not seeing yourself worthy of that yet. That is what is holding you back from realizing all that you desire. Firstly, desire is a driving force. I'm not talking about the desire where you desire something that somebody else has. I'm talking about your true desires. We probably all have in common that we desire to be free and to be seen and to be loved. Spend time asking yourself, who am I and what do I want? Who am I truly? What is that thing that will not change? And I'm not talking about the roles you play. I'm not talking about your personality. I'm talking about your essence. So once again, we have to become still. We have to look inward and discern between the voice of the ego and the voice of your intuition, your heart, your spirit. If you have not followed me for a while, let me just, for those of you, give you this tip. Give your spirit a name. So your spirit is much bigger than this human avatar. Your human avatar is in your spirit. So give that part of you, that bigger part of you, a name so that you can talk to it. And you will find that often you start to more and more identify with your spirit and not this human avatar. It's wonderful to be human, don't get me wrong. So to use an excuse like I'm only human, that I'm not an advocate of. But when we are enlightened, one of the things that happens is that we get that distance between the personality, the form, and the spirit. So that is when we can handle whatever is thrown our way. Because we are separated from the emotional impact that the human part of us might experience. We don't become without emotion, but we become unaffected in our spirit because we know that everything works for our highest good, that everything is love, that everything is infinite, that cycles begin and end. The Morrigan is a goddess of war. She's a protector of, she's also the goddess of death and the protector. She's also one that helps with the transition between life and death, moving from life to death, which is actually also what Nut does. This does not mean there is death waiting for you in the literal sense, but she is there to help when we have to lay something down, something that we know is not good for us, be it a dream, be it an idea, be it a person, be it a part of ourselves. She helps us in that process so that we triumph in this war that we experience. On the beach there was also a lot of insects that I don't usually get, flies, some other crawlies that I don't know the name of. They are all indicators, they are all symbols, they are all showing us that things are dissolved that are not needed for us. And then that means we are on the brink of the new. We are on the brink of the new blossoming because space has been made. So the question you have to ask is, where do I see my ideal self? What is my dream? And I know you have many dreams, but pick the one that makes you the most excited about yourself, where you are, what you're doing, who are with you. And then ask yourself, when you have that picture, does it feel like me? Because if you can't see yourself being that, you are not yet aligned. It does not mean you can't reach it, but it won't be near. So you have to train yourself to see yourself in that role, in that position, in that house, in that country, with that person or persons. You have to see that. You have to imagine that. And as you do that, it should start to feel natural. I was shown this vision. The first thing I was shown was myself on a billboard, and I was like, what? And then I had the realization, if I'm getting an uneasy feeling when I see that, am I not feeling worthy? Because I know I'm ready. So do that examination and do that practice to, when you see your name in lights, that must be something natural for you. That must be something easy, because you are worth it. You are worth anything you can desire. You can't desire anything if it is not for you. If you can align yourself with that vibration, you will have it in this dimension and timeline. We are on our way to ascend to a higher consciousness, where things will become much more easy. But we should not keep our eyes on everything around us that frightens everyone else. We can't speak our affirmations and not live it. We can't say something but do something else. Align your words, align your thoughts, align what you do, and life will become easy. The signs that you might have seen as confirmation are doves, bats, crows, insects, especially moths, worms, then also cats, and I keep on hearing flowers. So I don't want to specifically describe in what way, but if flowers was significant for you in the last few days, this is also a confirmation. But as always, if you've been here on the frequency, this message is for you, and you can take from it what resonates. I'm sending you my infinite love till I speak to you again in the next video. Goodbye.